What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Comic Book Flashback. I'm Arthur Cross 316, and today, folks, we are looking at Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 59. Today's issue title is Hollywood Part 6, and today, folks, we'll be looking at the conclusion to this story with Spider-Man basically fighting Dr. Octopus. We saw last issue that Spider-Man was able to defeat Dr. Octopus in Brazil, and we left on a cliffhanger because now we have seen that Gwen Stacy has basically discovered that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and she is now pointing a gun at a helpless Peter Parker. Caught him off guard, and we're going to now see what is going to happen and transpire in this issue. We have Aunt May returning from her trip from Florida, a lot going on, so let's go ahead and get started. We see Peter Parker says, "Gwen, where did you get a gun?" And with tears in her eyes, she says, "It was my father's." Peter's like, "Gwen, I didn't kill your father." And she's like, "Spider-Man, Spider-Man, a man and a Spider-Man." He said, I know, but it wasn't me. A man and a spider." Here comes Aunt May. They both hear her. He then snatches the gun away from her. And she said, "Ah." He said, listen to me. I didn't kill your father. I didn't." Aunt May is wondering where both Gwen and Peter are at. Peter says, "I am Spider-Man, yes, okay, but I would never in a million years kill anyone ever. It's the opposite of what my whole entire life is about. I'm trying to help people, not hurt them. And listen, the cops told you it was a copycat guy in a Spider-Man outfit. They told you. The guy admitted it. It was on the news, and I was with you, right next to you, all day, the day your dad died, the entire day, so it wasn't me." And he said, "I'm sorry I didn't tell you who I am, but I don't want anyone to get hurt. I don't want Aunt May or you or anyone I know to have to worry about me. Please, please believe me. Please, please believe me." And so he's going to then take his hand off of her mouth. She stands and is just in shock here, as anybody would. She's then going to run out of the basement, causing the door to slam, gets Aunt May's attention. She said, "Peter?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "I called you 15 times. He said, "Oh, sorry, I fell asleep in front of my computer." And then she said, "Oh my gosh, what happened to your face?" Peter comes up with the excuse that it happened at school in the gym, playing battle ball, and the tooth popped out. And she's like, "You should have called me." He said, "Well, you would have freaked out." He said, "Look, I'm late to school." And he's like, "Well, you're not going to school. You're going to the dentist." And so later that day, Mary Jane, his girlfriend, is going to arrive. He's passed out on the bed. She wakes him up. He falls off the bed. And she said, "I'm so thankful that nothing happened to you." And he said, "Did you actually leave the country?" He said, "Yes." "You were in Brazil?" "Yeah." He said, "I'm so glad you're okay. I didn't know what to do. I was sitting in class and all I could think about was what you were going to do and if I should call somebody and get you help." And she flips on the television, and here's the scene here where Spider-Man was able to defeat Dr. Octopus in Brazil. He was also seen on that bus in Newark Airport. And then there's this guy that says, "Alls I know is I opened up the baggage compartment and there was this dude in a spider dude outfit and he was all done up like a broad." And that makes Peter Parker embarrassed here. And then we see that the producers was able to capture a lot of the fight between Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus. And we're going to see later on in this issue that Spider-Man movie is going to be a big hit. And so then Peter's going to tell MJ that Gwen has discovered his secret identity, and he asked if she has seen her, and she hasn't. He said, "I don't know what to do." And while they're talking, here comes none other than Gwen. She said, "Dude, don't crawl up her butt. I was going to find out eventually because, I'm not stupid." He said, "Where did you go?" And Gwen says, "At first, the backyard. I was back there for about an hour. Thanks for chasing after me, by the way." He said, "I had to deal with Aunt May." He said, "I know, I was joking." So it looks like Gwen is super cool about Peter Parker being Spider-Man, and she says that she went to the library to really look up the whole scenario to what really happened to her dad, and she's going to just forgive Peter Parker and, not be mad at him anymore because she knows that he didn't kill her father. It was the imposter. And so it looks like Peter Parker, Mary Jane, and Gwen are all pretty happy. They've all gotten back together and just they're friends. There's no animosity between the two, or the three rather. And Gwen even promises to not tell Aunt May about this stuff because, Aunt May does not need to know about that yet. That's what Peter Parker said. He does not want Aunt May to find out that he is Spider-Man. And so now we're going to change scenes here. We're going to see that Nick Fury has Dr. Octavius. He's been in SHIELD custody now. And his arms have been taken away from him again, the metal arms. And we see that Nick Fury is going to say, as a leader of the World Peacekeeping Task Force, I have hard decisions to make. It is difficult to know exactly what will keep this country safe in the long run. One decision I made was to keep these metal arms of yours intact while our scientists examine just how they work, how they are connected to you. That decision was a mistake. I misjudged how strong your connection to these arms was, and I misjudged just how insane you truly are. You've murdered dozens of people, including my soldiers, and it's because of that I arranged our special little meeting today. I had you sedated just enough so that you can't control your arms mentally, but not so much so that you will miss out on what you are about to do. He has them hovering over this lava here. He said, do it. Dr. Octopus is like, no, yes. And they drop his metal arms into that molten lava. He screams out, no! And he's screaming, no. As we can see, he's, oh God, no, please, it was me. Not them, it was me. He said, get him out of here. And we see that Dr. Octavius is sent back to where he belongs in solitary confinement here. And we hopefully will not see those metal arms come back out of that lava. Hopefully that's not going to happen. But 4 months transpire. 4 months later, we see that the Spider-Man movie is released. It's big hit here, $176 million, and stunning worldwide gross of $545 million after only 4 days. Big hit movie. Back at high school here, Peter Parker is overhearing the conversations he's had, with Kong here, who was an extra in the movie. All the girls racing up to him, asking him, hey, it was so cool seeing you in the movie. And Mary Jane and Peter and Gwen like, whatever. And then Kong's like, hey, did you guys see it yet? They said no. He said, well, totally hope you can go. And then Peter's like, yeah, I heard it's awesome. All right, so that's how we end this issue, folks. But up next, we're going to see the first appearance of Carnage. Yes, folks, Carnage is making his first appearance coming up next in issue number 60. Really, really looking forward to covering that. But go ahead and drop a like on this video. That would be much appreciated. Subscribe as well. And I will see y'all in the next one.